Darth Vader is the most feared being in the galaxy. He slaughtered entire Jedi temples. He bent star systems to his will through fear alone. By every measure, he was nearly unstoppable. So how did one man, older, tired, and living in exile on a desert planet, keep finding a way to beat him? The first lifetime begins on Mustafar, 19 years before the Battle of Yavin, two brothers about to destroy each other. Now here's what most people get wrong about this fight. They say Obi-Wan won because of the high ground, and yes, that's how it ended. But that's not why Obi-Wan won. Vader had been a Sith Lord for less than 24 hours. That same day, he'd slaughtered younglings in the Jedi Temple, choked his pregnant wife, and watched everything he betrayed the Jedi for fall apart in real time. His rage was volcanic, literally. But rage without control is just self-destruction wearing a lightsaber. Obi-Wan didn't beat Vader on Mustafar. Vader beat himself. Obi-Wan just waited long enough to make it official. 10 years after Mustafar, Vader tracks Obi-Wan down on a planet called Mapuzo, and it is not even close. Vader drags him through fire, buries him, nearly kills him. The man who beat Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar can barely hold his lightsaber. So what happened? 10 years of exile happened. Obi-Wan hadn't trained, hadn't meditated. He was carrying the guilt of every Jedi who died, every Padawan lost, and, most of all, Anakin. He had convinced himself that his friend's fall was his fault, and that guilt, it was strangling his connection to the Force. Soresu, his entire fighting style, requires a deep attunement to the Force to work. Without it, he had nothing. Meanwhile, Vader had spent a decade growing into his full power. The rage, the suit, the dark side, he'd finally made them work together. The gap between them was real, and it was massive. But here's what changed everything. Over the course of that series, Obi-Wan slowly let go of the guilt. He found purpose again, protecting Luke and Leia, and with purpose came peace, and with peace came the Force. In their rematch, Obi-Wan doesn't just hold his own. He cracks Vader's helmet open and brings him to his knees. And here's the detail nobody talks about. Vader wasn't fully locked in either. He was emotionally distracted, obsessed with Obi-Wan in a way that clouded his focus. The most dangerous thing a Sith can do is fight with feelings, and that's exactly what Vader did. So here's where the video hits a wall. The Death Star, 0BBY. Obi-Wan is 57 years old, worn down by nearly 2 decades on a desert planet. Vader is 41, at the absolute peak of his power. And not only does Obi-Wan lose this fight, he doesn't even really try to win it. He sees Luke watching from across the hangar, lowers his blade, and lets Vader cut him down. So was everything I just argued, the 3 lifetimes, the calculated wins, was all of that just luck? Because from where I'm standing, the 3rd lifetime looks like a loss. A clean, undeniable loss. Or does it? He knew, better than anyone, that he couldn't beat Vader in a straight fight anymore. Vader was 41, at full power, and had spent 2 decades becoming the most dangerous being in the galaxy. Obi-Wan wasn't going to win that duel, so he didn't try. The moment Vader struck him down, Obi-Wan became something Vader could never touch. A Force ghost, unlimited, untouchable, and from that moment on, he never stopped fighting. He whispered in Luke's ear during the Death Star trench run. He appeared to Luke on Hoth and sent him to Yoda. He convinced Yoda to train Luke when Yoda wanted to turn him away. He guided the one person capable of doing what Obi-Wan himself could no longer do. Walk up to Darth Vader and pull Anakin Skywalker back from the dark side. Obi-Wan didn't lose on the Death Star. He changed the battlefield for the last time, and 4 years later, Vader was gone.